the biggest mistake you notice young engineers make?
Biggest mistake, I would have to say, number one right off the bat is over EQ. Relying too much on equalization to get a sound. Sometimes that's good though. Sometimes you need to do that. Sometimes it's great. But when you have over EQ things, you're it can be destructive, because you might be bringing out, overtones or harmonic distortion that you really shouldn't be bringing out because it overlaps with, I want it brighter, right? For say, I want this to be brighter. You can't just boost all the highs. You got to find that specific high, right? So that and compression. Compression, it took me 10 years to master compression.
And can you clarify compression for those who are unaware?
Compression is a dynamics controller, if you will. Like for instance, let's say this is your quiet sound of your voice, of your guitar, of your flute, whatever the instrument might be, and this is the loud, when you get really loud. So that range, that dynamic range, compression narrows that range, and it gives you better control in your mix for placement. But you don't want, so that's when, to answer your previous question about, young engineers, learning the art of compression is really important because you can destroy a sound, you can ruin having some dynamics and lots of dynamics is a good thing. But being able to control things so that they don't jump out at you, and that's a skill that takes time to really master.
In our modern times, a majority of music is consumed through smartphones. I've heard many producers say this, right? I want to hear your view on it. Some people say the mix of a song is no longer important because people can't fully hear all aspects of the song. What are your thoughts about that?
I disagree. It's quite the opposite. Very important, even more so important actually, especially for all things low frequency, kicks, basses, subs, finding unique ways to use the upper harmonics, the higher harmonics, or adding a higher octave, or find that point on the kick, the high frequency on the kick so it cuts through on the phone. Because you're not going to hear 30, 40, 50 hertz, 60 hertz. It's not going to come across on the phone at all. So, but there's ways to find a curve till you find that frequency in that range. Up there it is, and it cuts through a little bit better on a smaller speaker or a phone or even headphones.
At what year did you start having to tweak mixing to kind of, what's the word I'm using? I guess, how would I say this? At what year did you have to start tweaking the mixing to make it, I guess, provide a better sound on the phone for tune? When do you have to start thinking about phones when you're mixing? That's the question.
Okay, I have to say, early 2000s, once devices were being used, smaller devices were being used more and more. The smartphones, when they came out, for instance, was a big rise in that consideration,
Well, let me hear you say, Mount